Hello and welcome to Cooking with Rabbi Meira. I'm going to show you today one of my favorite recipes called Bulgarian yogurt soup. And what you'll need is yogurt, probably not all of this unless you have a very big family. And you put 5 things into the soup. One of them is neutral, the cucumber. 2 are savory, radishes and green onion. And 2 are sweet, walnuts. Whoops, a few spilled on the table. And raisins. Okay, and I wish I should have a few more raisins. And anybody can make this who can chop, okay? No cooking required. So I've cut up part of a cucumber. I'm going to cut it up into small little pieces and throw them into my pot here. And while I'm doing that, I'll tell you the story of where I learned this recipe. I was in Philadelphia in rabbinical school, and I was going to visit a bat mitzvah student at her home to teach her her lesson. And her mother was cooking this. Well, you can't really say cooking because you don't need to cook it. She was making this, and she gave me a taste, and it was so wonderful that I asked her for the recipe. And so she told me how to make it. Now I'm going to show you something really cool. I don't have much of these little green onions. Okay, that's all I had in my refrigerator. And they're kind of, they're on their last legs here. So I want to show you something that I do with green onions. I cut off the bottom part. And of course I got to cut off the top part because it's inedible. I take the bottom part like this, okay? And I have a pot that's usually outside, but I brought it in just for this film. And if you take just a kitchen knife like this and find a good spot in your pot and just stick it in there, and I put the little tops that I cut off in there, but don't cover them. Don't cover the top. You just stick it in like that. And look what happens. I get all these green onions, and I never have to buy any more, remember to buy any more, because they keep growing. See? Okay, so I'm going to just cut off some of those tops because I need a little more. Just like that. Cut them off, and they'll grow again. Just cut off a few of those tops. And I'm going to chop that up and put them in there with my cucumbers. So we're doing the savory side. Sorry that the table keeps shaking so much when I chop. And I know that the next thing I'm going to put in is the radishes. And I know that radishes they're not so much a part of our American culture. But if you like Mexican food and you think about hot peppers, well, radishes are sort of the Eastern European equivalent of hot peppers, okay? So we'll put just chopping up the red part. If you can get white radishes, that's better because the red ones sometimes bleed their color into the soup, which, it's no problem, makes it a little pink, which can be kind of nice. But anyway, I'm putting the radishes in. And I'm just going to do part of this so I don't make this video too long. But I put the radishes in. Okay. Throw in the walnuts. than the ones that fell on the table. And the raisins, again, if you have white raisins, they won't bleed their color like these dark raisins do. And pour in some yogurt. And then the next part, so you've got your two sweets, the walnuts and the raisins, the two savories, the radish and the onions, and the neutral one, the cucumber. And I put the yogurt in, and then you mix a little water in, and just make it as thick as you like it. Okay, different people might like it different. And now I didn't list water as an ingredient because I took it for granted, and then I was thinking, not everybody has water coming out of a faucet in their kitchen. So if we're feeling kind of deprived now, we should think how lucky we are that we have water coming out of a faucet. And then I put in some salt. Don't forget the salt. Okay, that's it. But there's one more really important part. You leave it in the refrigerator for a few hours, at least a few hours. It's better overnight. And this is delicious. And you can eat it for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, for snacks. You'll always have something to eat if you keep some of this in your refrigerator. So that's it. One of my favorite recipes, Bulgarian yogurt soup.